If you're an engineering student graduating in 2026, 2025, or even 2024, and you're trying to break into the IT industry, then listen carefully because this video is basically your complete roadmap. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to get hired in service-based companies like TCS, Infosys, Wipro, and Accenture in 2026. Step by step, no confusion. Now here's the interesting part. These companies are hiring aggressively right now. TCS and Infosys together have announced plans to hire 40,000 freshers combined in fiscal year 2026. That's 20,000 each. Wipro is slightly cautious, yes, but still actively hiring. Accenture is running continuous off-campus drives throughout the year. I'm Rohan Saneja. I head Corporate and Institutional Affairs at Polaris School of Technology. And today I'm breaking down the complete preparation strategy for you. Eligibility, selection processes, timelines, what to study, how to apply, package details, everything you need to know. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear step-by-step action plan to get hired. So let's dive in. Now, before we get into the how, let me first address the why. Because a lot of people say service-based companies don't pay well, they're mass recruiters, you won't learn much. But here's the reality. According to NASSCOM data, TCS, Infosys, and Wipro together contribute over 30% of India's yearly IT fresher hiring. Think about that scale. That's massive. And the roles you start with: system engineer, software engineer, associate software engineer. These are foundational tech positions. Now, let me give you the latest update on what's happening right now in February 2026. TCS is hiring through multiple programs. TCS National Qualifier Test or NQT, the next cycle is in March 2026 and the registration deadline is March 8th. They're also running TCS BSc Ignite and Smart Hiring for BCA and BSc graduates. And TCS BPS hiring for commerce and arts graduates happened in November 2025. Here's something very important about TCS. They don't really do one-time campus drives anymore like earlier. They have year-round programs. NQT happens every few months. You can appear multiple times until you get selected. And your NQT score is valid for 2 years. Not just for TCS, but you can also use it to apply to multiple companies through the TCS Ion platform. Now let's talk about Infosys. Infosys is running continuous off-campus drives for systems engineer roles. They're hiring 2024, 2025, and 2026 batch graduates. There's no fixed deadline, it's rolling admissions depending on project requirements. They're also running Infosys Springboard programs for skill development. One key point here, Infosys follows an adaptive test pattern now. That means the difficulty level adjusts based on how well you're performing. And this is new for 2026. So you need to be consistent throughout the test. Now Wipro has several programs. Wipro Elite is their flagship off-campus program for engineering graduates. Then there's Wipro WILP, Work Integrated Learning Program, mainly for BCA and BSc graduates, where you work and pursue an MTech simultaneously, fully sponsored by Wipro. And Wipro also has Turbo for top performers. Important detail here, Wipro does not allow you to reapply for 90 days after an assessment. So basically you get one shot every 3 months. That means preparation must be solid before attempting. Accenture, on the other hand, runs continuous off-campus drives throughout the year. They hire for multiple roles: associate software engineer, customer service associate, HR partner associate, technology support roles. Accenture is open to any graduate depending on the role, not just engineering students. So the bottom line is very clear. All 4 companies are actively hiring in 2026. The window is open right now.
Sorry to interrupt your video, but this is a very important information for you. Polaris admission test or PAT is now live, and every 14 days there's a new intake of students who give the PAT test every fortnight. Thousands of students have already given the test, and this is their first step of becoming the top 0.1% software developers of tomorrow. Polaris admission test में physics या chemistry के academic सवाल नहीं होते हैं, बल्कि most of the paper is actually designed after mental ability, logical reasoning, and your arithmetic capabilities. And if you don't want to give maths, there is also an option for you जहाँ पे आप पूरा पैट सिर्फ कोडिंग पे ही दे सकते हो, because ultimately जब आपको लाइफ में करना ही कोड है, so we should also assess you only and only on code. आप Polaris आओ या ना आओ, but I would highly urge that you go and give the test, because that test will give you a very strong indicative idea of what a modern industry-led software engineering curriculum actually looks like. The link is in the description.
Now let's talk about eligibility criteria. Starting with TCS NQT eligibility. Any stream, any degree. Pre-final and final year students can apply. Even working professionals with up to 2 years of experience are eligible. Batch years from 2021 to 2027 are eligible. Officially, there's no strict minimum percentage requirement, but most roles prefer 60% or above in 10th, 12th, and graduation. For TCS Ignite, which is for BSc and BCA students, minimum 50% in each of 10th, 12th, and graduation. For 2026 batch, one active backlog is allowed at the time of assessment, but no backlog should exist at the time of joining. Now, Infosys Systems Engineer Eligibility. BE, BTech, ME, MTech, MSc, MCA from 2024 and 2025 batches, minimum 60% in 10th and 12th and 65% in graduation. No standing arrears allowed. Maximum education gap of 2 years is allowed. Only full-time courses are considered. Wipro Elite Eligibility. BE, BTech, ME, MTech, 5-year integrated courses. One backlog allowed at the time of assessment, but must be cleared by 8th semester. Maximum 3 years gap between 10th and graduation commencement. No gaps during graduation. Graduation must be completed within 4 years or 5 years for integrated programs. Wipro WILP Eligibility, BCA, BSc in IT, computer science, mathematics, data science, statistics, physics, chemistry, electronics, 2023, 2024, 2025 batches, minimum 60% or 6 CGPA. And you must have studied core mathematics, not business or applied maths. Accenture Eligibility, BE, BTech, ME, MTech, MCA, MSc or any graduate depending on the role. Batches from 2022 to 2026 are eligible. No specific percentage cutoff mentioned publicly, but typically 60% plus is preferred. No active backlogs allowed. If you look at the common pattern across all companies, most want 60% plus consistent academic record, no major gaps in education, and full-time courses only. So that's your foundation. If you meet these criteria and prepare properly, you absolutely have a strong chance in 2026. TCS National Qualifier Test process starts with the online test. The total duration is 180 minutes. There are two main sections, cognitive skills and programming. Cognitive skills includes verbal ability, reasoning ability, and numerical ability. This is your aptitude section. Around 90 multiple choice questions. The programming section has two parts. First, programming logic questions, basic concepts, and pseudocode understanding. Second, hands-on coding where you write actual code to solve problems. Typically, there are two coding questions. If you clear the NQT with a strong score, you become eligible for TCS interviews. Based on your performance, you may qualify for the TCS Ninja role starting around 3.5 lakhs per annum or TCS Digital starting around 7 lakhs per annum if you perform very well in the advanced coding section. The interview usually has 2 rounds. Technical interview, questions on your projects, programming languages, data structures, algorithms, database concepts, and problem solving. Then HR interview, behavioral questions, why TCS, where you see yourself in 5 years, and situational scenarios. TCS selection can happen either through NQT or through on-campus drives at your college. The process remains largely similar. Selection process, Infosys. Infosys process for systems engineer starts with an online assessment. It is adaptive, meaning the difficulty changes based on your answers. There are 3 sections: analytical reasoning, logical puzzles, patterns, sequences, verbal ability, reading comprehension, grammar, vocabulary, puzzle solving, mathematical and logical problem solving. The total duration varies because of the adaptive pattern. Infosys sends invitations in batches. Applying does not guarantee immediate assessment. They shortlist based on project requirements. The systems engineer package usually starts at 3.5 to 4.5 lakhs per annum. Power programmer or specialist roles can range from 6 to 9 lakhs per annum. Selection process, Wipro. Wipro Elite process begins with an online assessment. Sections include verbal ability, analytical ability, quantitative ability, and a written communication test. Wipro specifically tests written communication, so you may need to write a short essay or professional email. After clearing this, there is a coding round with 2 problems. You generally need to solve at least one correctly to move forward. Then comes the interview. Usually 1 or 2 rounds combining technical and HR. The format can vary depending on the program, Elite, WILP or Turbo. Wipro WILP is different. After selection, you join as a scholar trainee, work full-time at Wipro, and pursue an MTech from a partner university. Wipro sponsors the degree. Stipend ranges from 15,000 to 23,000 rupees per month during study. After completing MTech, you convert to a regular employee. Project engineer package starts around 3.5 to 4 lakhs per annum. Selection process. Accenture. Accenture process may start with a pre-placement talk if on campus. For off campus, you directly receive assessment links. The online assessment has 3 parts: cognitive and technical assessment. Around 90 questions in 90 minutes covering aptitude, reasoning, verbal and technical MCQs. Then coding round, mandatory and elimination based. 2 coding problems, Java, Python or C++ allowed. After clearing online rounds, there is a virtual interview with typically 2 panelists. They assess technical knowledge, data structures, algorithms, SQL queries, OOP, projects, internships. HR questions include introduction, why Accenture, challenging situations, teamwork examples. Associate software engineer package starts at around 4.5 lakhs per annum. Advanced AC can go up to 6.5 lakhs. Non-tech roles start around 3 to 3.5 lakhs per annum. Preparation roadmap. Assuming you're starting in February 2026. Month 1, build programming fundamentals. Choose one language, Java, Python or C++. Learn syntax, loops, conditionals, functions, arrays, strings. Practice 50 to 100 basic problems on HackerRank, LeetCodeEasy or CodeChef beginner section. Revise core subjects. Data structures, arrays, linked lists, stacks, queues, trees, graphs, algorithms, searching, sorting, recursion, time and space complexity. DBMS, SQL queries, joins, normalization, OOP inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, abstraction. Month 2, deep dive into DSA. Practice 100 to 150 problems. Cover patterns like 2 pointers, sliding window, hash maps, tree traversals, BFS, DFS, basic dynamic programming. Use LeetCode, Geeks for Geeks, Interview Bit, track progress, build one solid project, preferably full stack, deploy it, upload to GitHub with proper documentation. Month 3, aptitude and mock tests. Practice quantitative aptitude daily, percentages, profit and loss, time, speed, distance, time and work, ratios, averages, number systems, permutations and combinations. Logical reasoning, series, coding decoding, blood relations, directions, seating arrangements, puzzles. Month 4, interview preparation and applications. Create a 1-page resume, include education, skills, projects with measurable impact, internships, certifications. Make it ATS friendly using keywords from job descriptions. Prepare HR answers using the STAR method: situation, task, action, result. Be ready to explain your projects line by line. Do mock interviews with seniors or on platforms like Pram. Register on company portals. Maintain a tracking sheet for applications and test dates. Aptitude, preparation, specifics. Quantitative aptitude requires speed. Practice mental math. Avoid calculator dependency. Learn shortcuts for percentages, multiplication, division, square roots. Logical reasoning improves with practice. Solve many puzzles to recognize patterns faster. For verbal ability, read editorials and articles daily to improve comprehension and vocabulary. Company tips. TCS aptitude is moderate but lengthy. Infosys has tricky puzzles. Wipro tests written communication. Accenture may include game-based questions. Coding preparation, specifics. Coding rounds eliminate 30 to 40% of candidates. Focus on arrays, strings, linked lists, stacks, queues, trees, graphs, and basic dynamic programming. Medium-level LeetCode problems are enough. Write clean code with meaningful variable names and proper handling of edge cases. Read problem statements carefully in online tests. Check input-output format. Test with sample cases. If stuck on one problem for more than 20 minutes, move to the next. Partial scoring is better than 0. Communication preparation. Communication skills can genuinely make or break your chances, especially during interviews. For verbal tests, practice reading comprehension passages daily. Time yourself while solving them. A smart strategy is to read the questions first and then read the passage. This helps you focus only on relevant information and saves time. For speaking skills, and this is especially important for Wipro and Accenture because they test communication separately, practice speaking English regularly, record yourself while answering common interview questions, listen to the recording. Identify filler words like, and work consciously on reducing them. Improve your pronunciation. You can use apps like Elsa Speak or watch English content with subtitles and mimic the way words are pronounced. In interviews, speak clearly and confidently. If it's a virtual interview, maintain eye contact with the camera. Sit upright. Don't rush your answers. It's completely okay to pause for a few seconds and think before responding. They are hiring tens of thousands of freshers. The opportunities are real, but competition is also real. You need to be better prepared than the average candidate. Build strong technical fundamentals, master aptitude, improve communication, apply strategically, stay persistent. Links to official portals and preparation resources are in the description. If this helped you, like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more placement guidance. And drop a comment telling me which company you're targeting and what challenge you're facing. At Polaris School of Technology, we actively help our students prepare for opportunities through focus training, mock tests, and placement support. If you're interested, check the link in the description. The next few months are crucial for your career. Start preparing today, stay focused, work smart, and you will get placed in 2026. All the best.